Hey girlies!
Hey girlies,
Hi, girlies.
I'm Caitlin,
I'm Mari.
I'm Jules.
and this is our first episode of our podcast.
First episode.
The first episode of Unfiltered Minds 20 something Girls Edition.
Super excited.
We are I think we're more nervous. I'm nervous, but we're excited too at the same time. I feel like there's a
Yes,
lot of
girl.
emotions going on right now.
Heart beating a little bit. Don't know what to say, really.
This is just, I think, because we've never envisioned this actually coming true. You know what I mean?
Finally
This
putting
is like,
the pedal to the
yeah,
metal and
No,
getting it going.
no, literally, we think we're the funniest people alive, and we felt like we needed to share this good vibes and good energy with other people. And I feel like now it's just surreal. Like this is actually happening.
Yeah.
girl. It was really hard to even press record right now. We're not even gonna lie to you, but
We were struggling. We kept we're 48 minutes in. We were supposed to start at 7.
oh, you are correct. It is 7:48. We got in here at 7 o'clock. We were supposed to start
Had to
forever
get
ago.
those giggles out,
We had to get
For
the
real.
giggles out, had to get the nerves out,
the
and
nerves.
I feel like anybody that's ever recorded a podcast before can probably relate to this. If you've never done social media like we have before, this is, I mean, I don't have a lot of followers on my Instagram. I'm very compared to what other people have.
Yeah.
It's just, this is definitely, I think, new territory for us. But it's exciting
Mhm.
because
Absolutely.
we want to share this beautiful podcast with you guys because we are going to be talking and diving into some fun topics, personal stories, insights, and just being a girl in your 20s. Because let's be honest, girls, it's hard. We know.
Girls, yeah, it's hard out here. Stay in school, kids. Literally.
It's hard being a girl in your 20s.
It's hard navigating through your 20s. And
Literally.
depending on what career, we're going to dive into all those different topics.
Yeah, and just, things that we've learned from our journey and just how we can get through it together as a community because y'all, it's hard out here. The real world is hard, and no one told us that.
Feel like you could prepare for it as much as you want, but the moment it happens, you just get slapped in the face with a hard truth reality. But that's okay, because you know what? Jesus, there's a bug. Sorry. We have, good
we have
support
each
system
other
around
to
us.
get through it.
Yeah,
this is definitely why we started this all together because we wanted to share it together.
Yeah, and I feel like we've shared so many special moments together that's really, like you said, Monty, why we want to start this podcast together. And I feel like we should just talk about how we all three met, how we all three became what I consider you guys sisters, obviously, but I feel like we should tell everyone how we met and just our stories together, how we became for lifers.
The For Lifer story.
The For
It's
Lifer
crazy.
story. It really is. I think, well, Jules and I go way back.
I was about to say, we might as well just
start there.
We'll
have
start there.
a separate damn episode because it'll just be that long to really get that all in one go around.
Jules and I really have been through a lot, looking back on our friendship, from early years to now, we've really seen each other grow into women. We're literally a whole ass 23-year-old woman now, and I feel like Jules and I, let me preface saying, Jules and I have known each other since we were 5.
We're
five
now both 23.
Both 23, so that's a long time. And there was no, I feel like sometimes, oh no, I'm frozen.
Uh-oh.
There
we go.
There we go.
Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. Yeah, Jules and I go way back, and we've never had like, I feel like right now in this time of our lives, this is the longest we have like really been apart.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, Jules. Like, because Jules and I went obviously to the same school, elementary school, middle school, high school. We even went to the same college.
I mean, yeah, it's like
so we've just
like glued to the hip pretty much
like
for
glued to the
14
hip,
years.
like literally, like we've been at the hip. And I think, you know, Jules lives in a different city than I. Jules is back at home and I'm in a different city. And so I feel like it's a new phase for our friendship, but yeah, Jules and I go way back. We have some funny stories. We have some good memories.
I feel like we have definitely, you know, done and just experienced a lot of things together. Good, bad, ugly.
Mm-hmm. Like everything. Yeah.
All of the above, you know, because like for me, at least, you know, this is not a normal friendship in my opinion. Like,
no.
You know, just being friends with other people or just, you know, friends in passing or even having like a close friend, like
yeah. Yeah, Jules and I truly have a bond.
Different.
Yeah, we truly do have that like sister bond. Like we are tied to the hip. And man, I think gosh, we just have so many stories that we can't even tell you all of them. Like we said, I think that would have to be like
a whole episode.
A whole episode in itself because I feel like Jules and I have so many great memories together. But the one that I think Jules can attest to that is so funny is I had this aspiration as a child. Like this should tell you, I always wanted to be
in social media.
I wanted to be in social media, and my dream back then was to be on Disney Channel. You guys, yes,
I love this story.
I was a Disney stan. Like when Shake It Up came out, let me tell you, that was a pivotal moment in my life.
That was the peak. That was the
peak. I was like, I want to be on Disney Channel. Let me tell you, I literally like. I was doing the most, you guys. Like, I was trying to film stuff on CDs. Like, I would put on a CD and try to send it to Disney headquarters.
Oh my god.
I will never forget the day
They literally said, return to sender. They literally said, return to sender. I think I had the right.
She's not it.
It was actually, I think it was like invalid address. Like, I don't think I got the right address for it. But I literally called Jules. I'm in New York with my parents. It's the first time I'm in New York. This is like 2009 probably or 8. And I'm like in New York City. I'm like, oh my God, I want to live here. I want to be here. Like, this is where I want to be. I called Jules. I'm like, bro.
I'm literally like,
I'm literally in the bathroom. Yeah. And I'm talking to Jules like on secret. I'm like, Jules, like, there's a freaking audition coming. There's like literally an audition in San Antonio. I'm like, you're gonna be my manager. We're gonna go. I'm 9 years old.
9-year-old.
9 years old. What kind of managing am I gonna do for you? Like,
I was literally. Jules like, yes, ma'am. Jules was like, yes, ma'am. And then Jules, you know, it's kind of funny because I will never forget this because Jules literally goes, I don't know how I'm gonna get over there though. Like, my mom doesn't want to drive me over there.
Stop.
Dedicated. I was like, we need to get this going, dude. I want to be Caitlin's like little like sidekick. And
I know. I was like, Jules,
take over Hollywood.
You'll be my manager. I was like, dude, like, yes, like you'll be my manager. We're gonna do this. We're getting it going. Obviously, it's never been I mean, it went nowhere. I've never been on TV, so obviously
we're starting somewhere in your 20s.
We're starting somewhere in my 20s. We're doing a podcast, and you know what, like. This is just crazy. It's just that was probably one of the funniest stories I literally can think of off the top of my head. And
I know as this goes on though, we're definitely just gonna like have stories pop up that we'll remember. We just have to tell you about this one time, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Like I think even like Maudie and I, like there's just so like in high school, because Maudie and me and Jules and Maudie, we all became friends with Maudie in high school. That is where we met Miss Maricela Martinez. And Maudie and I think we became friends freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
We were, you know, I don't know. I think we just met through other mutual friends. And then we just like I swear, I always tell Kyle this sometimes. I'm like, I swear me and Monty sometimes are the same person. Like, I swear to you,
for sure.
just like the way we like, I don't know. It's just something
Our
like we
thinking
think the same
process,
thing. Yes.
it's crazy.
And we literally think like we've looked at each other so many times and been like, I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. Like,
bro, they'll be having their own, like, we'll be all like, our friend group is like us three and two other guys, which is one of them is including Caitlin's boyfriend. But it's the five of us, and the guys will be talking and the girls will be talking. And I swear to you, Caitlin and Maricela, they'll be having like a conversation, and I just kind of have to be like a fly on the wall because them two, they're just going at it, and they're just clicking on every cylinder, and I'm just amazed and just standing back and watching them because they're just so funny when
very
they're just
much
talking
same views on everything.
No, literally,
it's crazy. Never met someone who's like been so on point with the way I've thought.
No, literally, like it's crazy. I'm like, are we like the same person of the same mind? Like, I'm confused, just different bodies because
pretty much,
girl. No, literally, Monty and I, and we've always been like that. I feel like we've been like that since high school, and that's why. And I think what makes our friendship so special, and I'm sure Jules can attest to this too, is the fact that we've always just stayed in contact. Like, no matter what, Monty went to different college than us. She moved away to a far away, like 4 hours away, which is not that far, but I mean, still farther than what we were. And obviously, Jules and I were at the same school. But I think what made that our friendship with you so special is literally the fact that we stayed in touch. We made time to see each other.
We put that effort into the friendship. We never just let it go by.
No. And
the way we did with like other friends.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, you know, definitely with other people, but it was a two-way thing, I feel like. But I felt like with Madi, it was always like effort being put in, and then we would put the effort. Like whatever we put in, we would receive back, if that makes sense.
And it was so easy. Like when we are catching up, it was effortless of just like catching up without it being awkward.
Yeah. It was like we literally picked up where we left off. Like, okay, this is what happened. We haven't talked in like a month or two. What's going on? And it would just be like hours of conversation. Like we could stay up and just talk and talk and talk and talk. So I definitely think
which we've done for sure.
Oh my god,
numerous nights.
Jules.
Too many shots. Oh my gosh, yeah. Monty and Jules definitely had some moments when they quit camping.
Oh yeah, we had a camping trip. Monty said, "I'm going to bed," and I would not like shut up.
I know. I come out the next morning and Monty's like, Jules kept me up late. I was like, what? I knocked out, girl.
Let's talk about me and Jules' like friendship.
Yeah, you definitely have a unique friendship. Jules and Monty have a unique friendship that literally cracks me up. Honestly, like you guys.
You want to tell the fans how?
No, how about you tell them? Because I'm nicer. You should go.
So obviously we went to the same high school. Me and Kate picked up freshman year. We're like off the bat, we knew we were gonna be good friends. And I knew Kate and Jules were already friends like since elementary. So obviously they had that close bond. And because I got so close to Kate, I was like, ooh, like this girl Jules, I don't know about her. She's very different.
I was very loud, very annoying.
Jules was a unique girly. She was very,
like, very unique.
Just like that, absolutely.
So, you know, freshman year went by, still friends with Kate, have not really befriended Jules. Sophomore year, junior year, and she was very much an athlete, you know, into basketball. And I know, like, she put a lot of effort and focus into that. So senior year comes around, and I'm a runner, for reference, and I was on cross country and track, and those were my main sports. And this girl Jules decides to try out for cross country to improve her endurance for basketball. And I was like, can this girl even run? Like, already off the bat judging. Wrong on my end. Because I already knew how I kind of felt about her.
Dang, I didn't know this.
No, but
it was like, she aired it out.
Over the years,
we might be like cutting ties after this as well.
It's not that I didn't hate her. Like, I was just like, I've never talked to her to get a feel for her.
I've been like that. I've definitely
So
it's
I
just a
never gave
shy
her the
girly thing.
chance. Yeah, I just never
Yeah.
It's a
gave her the
shy girl.
chance.
Me and Madi were
So
definitely friends in passing.
yeah.
Madi really, I will say, scared me a lot. And I tell her that every single time I see
To
her.
this
I'm like,
Apparently
day,
I
she
still
still tells
scare
her.
her.
Yeah, I was gonna
to
say,
this
like, to
day.
this day, I think, like, you still say that to her, and she's like, why?
She's like, why? And she's like giving me like the meanest face on planet Earth, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. That's a funny
Okay,
question,
I'm getting to
actually.
the good part.
She is.
So
Okay,
she
yes, good part.
so she tries out for cross country, ends up being pretty like decent, obviously not a star runner like me. But I'm just kidding. So we're running together, creating that bond, and I was like, this chick's actually super cool. Like, I wish I would have given her a chance since freshman year. We could have been as close as the way me and Kate are. And from there, it's just been like history. Like, we've clicked, and we definitely have that unique friendship that Kate was talking about. Like, it's very different, but I like it.
Very different. No,
I love
it's
it.
so, yeah, seeing your guy, and I'm sure, like, it's, like, literally the way Jules is, like, responded, like, to us, like, seeing y'all's friendship and the way y'all, like, talk and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, y'all are so funny. Like, you guys remind me of two old ladies, like, that have been friends for years and just arguing with each other about
Yes, we're
nonsense. Like,
silly.
literally, and, like Madi, the way she talks to Jules and the way Jules talks to Madi, I swear to God, they would never talk to me that way. They would just be like Jules, like, Jules, move, and Jules is like, what did you say? Like, excuse me?
I come off very aggressive, and
both of y'all do.
I'm a Mimi.
The cats come out. You guys,
but the good thing is that like Madi and I have built that like friendship and that relationship to where that's like,
how y'all are.
Normal.
Yeah, like
normal.
that's just how you guys are. Like,
we're comfortable that way.
Yeah, and you guys mutually know, like, you care and love you love each other. Like, it's not to be like in an ugly way. No hate, girl.
It's all love, all love.
No haters here.
I almost started singing "What It Is."
Oh, what it is.
What's
up? Okay, honestly, shout out to, how do you say her name? Doche? Girl, all right, don't roast me in the comments. Like, please don't roast me in the comments about this. But like, Doche, what it is, that song has been like our anthem recently. We can't stop singing it. Like, we'll literally be in our group chat and just text it because it just pops in our head sometimes.
We finish each other's sentences.
We literally do. We're like, what it is.
We do the dance moves in the car, like,
and I don't know if y'all do this, but like when I see it, or like even if I'm like thinking about it, I have to be like, what it is. Like, I have to really think about the whole song, like the
vocals and
the vocals and everything, like the melodies. I'm like, yes, I love that song.
Absolutely.
Literally, that song, you guys, check out that song. This is not obviously like Doche ain't sponsored this, but like, listen to her song, please. It's so good.
Keep streaming it, or whatever it's called.
No, literally. So, I know we talked about previously to our listeners that we are really going to be talking about our 20s and, just different stages of life that we've currently experienced and that we're currently in, because I feel like, and I'm sure you guys can agree to this, like from even 20 to like 23, it just feels like so different. Like, I feel like I was a completely different person at 20 now that I'm 23, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like I've evolved so much, and like I look back and I'm like, wow, like, okay. And I feel like sometimes it's hard to look forward because, the position you're in right now, you may be stressed or you may feel like the world is falling apart, but it's crazy what 3 years can do. It really is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A lot changes in that time frame, especially in your 20s. That's such a a big transition of like that early adulthood. Like, we're going from the teens and the early college years to, graduating and figuring out your life path, your career.
Yeah. I feel like definitely post-grad is probably one of the hardest well, for me, I mean, obviously, I have so many years ahead, God willing, but I feel like post grad has definitely been a hard transition. Like, if we're talking about from high school to college, like that was hard, but girl,
Completely
it
different.
ain't nothing compared to post grad. I mean,
yeah.
like, and I just like I said, like I feel like everyone's experience is different. Like, right now, like I'm not living at home. Like I am in a completely different city that is very expensive, and I'm not. I'm making good money, but like where I'm living and stuff, it's hard to like save and it's hard to just like you want to do fun things,
Have the
obviously.
lifestyle you've dreamt
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely think it hasn't helped with just like inflation and stuff that's going
Oh
on.
yeah.
But I mean, there's just so many, and I feel like all of us like have all these like hopes and aspirations, and we also have fears of what's to come in this decade of our lives. So I just feel like, expect to hear episodes like that. Just really diving into things that we've learned about, things that we wish we knew, um, just literally experiencing your 20s. Because
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all feel about it, but like I've listened to other podcasts before where it's, there are people talking about 20s, like, building a good mindset, or like there's this, I don't even know, one podcast. It's like the psychology of your 20s, and I was like,
Oh
it's
my God,
comforting to
I've heard
know.
that one. Yeah.
Have you? Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
really good podcast, and I feel like this is why we started it, because I find comfort in listening to those podcasts because I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm not
It's
the only one going
relatable.
through it.
You're
Yes.
not alone.
And there's just something about knowing, like, okay, I'm not the only one going through this. Like, at least 100 other people are going through this too.
Right.
And I feel like this podcast really is to create that community with people that are just, we're going through it, but we're going to go through it together, sis. Like, we are going to get this shit done, and we going to get it done together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel
on
like
period.
absolutely like 4 times, but like I'm just simply
Absolutely
agreeing with
times
everything.
10.
Times a million, because completely agree.
Like, yeah, I think this is just something that we want everyone to be involved with, and we want to share our goals with you guys and how we're going to reach our goals, because like I said, we are not big social media people.
We're normal 23-year-olds just like y'all.
We're normal 23-year-olds just doing our, Madi is, well, maybe we should talk maybe
we
can go into like
go a little bit into what we do.
Yeah, let's go into what we do, because I feel like we could give each of ourselves a formal introduction, getting to know us kind of thing. So
absolutely. And I was also gonna say, just to kind of piggyback off of like what you were talking about, is like obviously, right off the bat, we might have like one person listening. That's great, lovely. And if we can like get to that one person, fantastic. If that one person has suggestions about like, or like has any experiences that we're going through like us, and like, just any kind of input that you want to give to us, I feel like it would be just as beneficial for us to talk about as it would be for you guys to hear it from someone else. And it would also just give us more points to talk about, which would be really cool to do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because of
definitely.
course, you just never want us to stop talking.
No, we never want to stop. It's a podcast. That's what you're here to do. Hear us talk.
Exactly.
Duh.
Air it out.
We're here to air it out, ladies. So, get to know us. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm known in this little groupie of this podcast that we're doing as the tech girly. I very much am. I don't like to pride myself on it though. It is my career, degree in computer science, whatever. For hardest years of my life. Hard. Awful.
Girl, that
Disgusting.
stuff's hard.
hard.
You guys, I saw Jules' homework sometimes. I literally was like, what are you doing? Like,
all that coding stuff.
How does this even pertain? I swear to God, Jules had a math class called discrete math or something, and it was like the bunny jumps over the rabbit, and I was like, or like the bunny jumps over the fence, and I was like, what does that have to do with computer science?
My worst classes ever.
She was like, I have to code it. I was like, girl, what? Okay, girl.
Yeah. And so, very into, gaming, computers, cameras, all the little techie stuff, I really do like all that stuff. And right now I'm working for a law firm, and I'm testing their programs. And just doing that, and don't know what else might come of it, but that's where I'm at right now.
And that's on period. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'll go. I'm Caitlin, but my beautiful friends here like to call me Kate. I am an education major, so yes, I am a teacher. And it's great. And we can get more in depth that within another episode, but it's challenging. It definitely has its challenges. It's not all rainbow and sunshine like everybody thinks it is. I definitely went into this major a little bit blindly, and I'm okay to admit that. I think that's been like a long internal struggle with me, has been like accepting that this is where I am, and it's okay. And I think I'm just seeing it as like I'm in my 20s, I'm getting my experience in. This doesn't have to be for the rest of my life. So I am currently an assistant teacher, and I just think that's the best position for me right now. And I work at an amazing school in downtown, and it's great. The teacher I work with is amazing, and I, outside of teaching, love fashion. I love makeup. I love everything, the girly things. Like literally, like I love the girliest things: skincare, self-care, journaling. I've tried yoga and Pilates, but that's really girly stuff. But someone go with me, please, by the way, to a class, because I'm scared to go by myself.
Me, girl.
What kind?
I told you
Pilates
I would go with
and
you.
hot yoga. I know, but we live in different cities.
I know. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I know. Maybe when you come up, we can find like a Pilates studio and go. But yeah, I love makeup. I think I've always loved makeup since I was since I was probably 12, since I discovered YouTube and Makeup by Mandy 24. Like literally, that was my queen. She slayed, and it got me into makeup. I think I've always been into fashion. I don't think I've always been a fashion girly.
But always had class, always had style.
I slayed in my own way. Yeah, I slayed in my own way. I slayed on the trend. Like,
yes. Trend.
I literally, I was with the trends. Like, when the choker trend was in, I was in it. When the Anastasia Dibrow was in, that was me. Like, I was in the trends. I was that girly. Like, I was really on top of that stuff. And I feel like now, I've toned it down a little bit with, like, the makeup, obviously. And, like, I still love skincare. I love clothes. I low-key have, a shopping problem. But that's besides the point. If you can relate, then, it's fine. But I'm also an outdoorsy girly. I love hiking. I love hiking. My dream is to go to like Wyoming or Montana and just live that backcountry life, because that's what I want to experience just once in my life, please. Because I feel like I've been a city girl. Well, not a city girl, like city girl, but I've grown up in the city.
City girl.
I just grown up in the city. We've grown up in the city. We don't got a lot of like outdoorsy cool. I mean, there's some outdoorsy stuff at home, obviously, but Not like it's not definitely giving Colorado, Minnesota. I mean,
Oh no,
Minnesota. I mean,
ma'am.
Montana or Wyoming. I know Minnesota. I don't know about that. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know what y'all got out there. Honestly, I've never looked up Minnesota before, but maybe you do have the pretty nice mountains. But it's definitely Texas ain't. I mean, certain parts of Texas do, but where we're from, it ain't giving Utah. It ain't giving Utah or those types of places. So definitely, those are some of my things that I enjoy. Yes.
Yay. Okay. So my name is actually Maricela, but my high school friends, aka them, and the other two guys, I mean a lot of them, have given me the nickname Mari. I actually hate that name. But it's
so fun fact.
No,
fun
literally.
Story real quick. I remember going up to Maricela and I was like, Maricela, like, do you prefer to be called Maricela or Mari? Or Mary? Because a lot of people called her Mary too in high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, which one do you prefer? And she goes, well, I really don't like Mari, and I just prefer Maricela. And I was like, okay, Mari. And I walked away, and I'm like, well, maybe that's why she hated you this whole time. Like, gee whiz, you just didn't listen to her.
It's just easier for everyone.
And I feel like you told us that recently, though. Like, I swear you said that recently to me. Like, I swear it was like the 2 weeks ago that we were together. You were like, I hate Mari. And now I looked at Jules and was like, did you just say that? She said she doesn't like me called Mari. We've called her that her whole time we've known her.
Yeah. And then now, college, my college nickname was Cell. So I mean, it has just changed. I really don't care what I'm called. At the end of the day, I don't care. You're acknowledging me, great.
Great. You see that I'm here. Great. Perfect. Call me whatever.
So I am a nurse. I went to school for nursing. Just tested 2 months ago. The NCLEX passed. Very stressful whole getting ready to sit for that test. But I mean, nursing school in general is stressful.
Girl,
but,
I applaud you. Like, I've seen I've seen TikToks of girls being like 4 a.m. clinical. I'm like, God damn, 4 a.m. I'm like, my Lord.
Definitely not for the week.
No.
But the last semester, is when you're kind of doing your interviews, and it's up to you. Whatever path you're on, if you want to wait till you graduate and wait till you're gonna pass, or if you have that confidence that you're like, I got this. I started interviewing my last semester in the medical center where I knew I was gonna move back home, because as they did mention earlier, I did go 2 hours away from home for college, and I just did that because I wanted to be more independent. And just navigate on my own. I didn't always want my parents' help. I wanted to figure my life out on my own. Mm-hmm. And I knew it was going to be very rewarding saying, I went through that program, because nursing school is very hard to say, I did it alone. I mean, obviously there's going to be help along the way, but that was just my case. And I don't come from a background of, neither of my parents went to college. No one in my big family, we're Hispanic. We come from huge families. No one in my family has gone the medical route, so I was going to be the first, and I knew it was going to be a big deal for everybody if I finished, and it was. I mean, my parents are proud of me. My whole extended family is. So I've really felt accomplished in that sense. But yeah, as I said, my last semester I applied to a level 1 trauma hospital here back where I'm at home. Got the job. So I'm working in a oncology unit. So
period.
And I also just tested for my chemo card and I passed.
Yes,
so
ma'am. She did. Round of applause for you, girl.
So I'm officially hanging chemo as well, which is super exciting, but scary.
Monty out here saving lives, for sure.
Monty is such an inspiration because I feel like there is hope. And I say that because it's I've said this to my boyfriend before. I'm like, honey, I feel like you're supposed to like your job. I feel like that's supposed to be that small thing that you're like, okay, I actually enjoy what I'm doing. And sometimes he's like, no, you hate your job. But I was like, no, Madi gives me that hope that no, he is wrong and she is right. You can enjoy your job. Like if you're passionate about it and you feel like this is what I want to do, this is where I belong, I feel this is right, then yes, it is right. Like you should love it. Obviously, you're going to be stressed. I'm not saying you never go through stressful times or times where you want to cry and be like, why did I just experience that? Like, what the hell?
And I mean, that just probably means too, you are somewhat passionate about your job, you know? You want to do it correctly. I mean, everybody's going to go through that. But you have to know there's going to be times of failure and you have to accept that. And especially like with nursing, you know, there was a lot of discouragement during the clinical stages where, you know, in school I would go through clinicals and, you know, some of the nurses are like leave, this is a terrible profession. But, you know, that could have been where I was in that city, and I was like, I'm gonna give it hope. Like, I did not come this far to just give up, you know. There's so many options with especially nursing, and I mean, it's up to you to do your research in education and computer science. Y'all have so many routes. You know, you just got to do your research. And if you're not happy with where you're at, move. Our generation is so big on just, like, you try it out. And if you don't like it, it's not fitting for you, go somewhere else. Because back then, you know, our parents' generation, they felt the need to stay loyal to that company. And our generation is definitely changing that. Like, you know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If
Oh my
you're
gosh,
not
this
happy,
would be yeah.
I mean, we could get into this more
this
in
would
depth
be
later.
a good episode. This is the stuff that we're talking about. Like this is stuff we're gonna deep dive into because I feel like, you know, you guys see what we see on social media. Like Monty said, it can be discouraging. I don't know how many TikToks I've seen of people saying, "Don't do nursing, don't do teaching, don't do this." Like, don't. But yeah, I think this
It's
is
for
stuff.
us to experience ourselves. Like, don't take someone's word for it because you don't know their approach to it on a daily basis. You know, they're going to work every day. We're going to be doing that. Let us see for ourselves because you have to have that mindset.
Oh yes, definitely.
But
And
we could definitely dive into that more
this
later.
would definitely like this is stuff. Yeah, this is like I said, definitely stuff that you can expect to hear. Like we're gonna obviously be doing different episodes about different things, but I think definitely like talking about your careers, finding a career is definitely gonna be like probably a podcast, a separate episode that we're gonna do for this podcast. And you know, I think we should tell the fans. You guys aren't fans. You're not fans. You're family now. We're family.
We're all this.
The family.
We're all together in this.
We're girlies. We're
all
girlies. No, we're all girlies.
Sisters.
Like you guys. Yes, we're sisters and girlies. Like we don't need to be. You guys are not fans. No, ma'am. I'm sorry. That was rude of me. You guys are the girlies. You guys are the girlies. Like that was. I was like, wait a minute. These girls aren't fans.
They are like, friends.
We are friends. We are all going through this together, and we're all experiencing this together. And I want to tell you guys, what are some things that you can expect from our podcast, like reoccurring like things. I think this is so funny because we actually came up with this and we sang it in harmony, I think, as we always do. But we decided to do Song of the Week. That is something that you can expect from our podcast.
We're big singing girlies. I don't know if like you've ever seen those TikToks where it's like you have that one friend who sings everything.
That's us.
That's us. That's like, us.
Literally us.
That's how the whole "What It Is" thing came about, you know.
Which I feel like is kind of ironic. No, literally, I honestly think yes, it did kind of. We were like, we're so funny. We should like everybody should listen to us right now because we're so funny. I also think it's kind of ironic because we've never done karaoke before. I feel like us three are so shy that we would we would rather harmonize like at our table and just be like, and we would just go off than go on stage.
Ourselves with each other.
We would freeze up. We would literally be like, people. We would be like, what do we say? What do we do?
Kyle and Frank, you know.
Oh yeah,
We'll
our
be
other
out.
friends, they just go off. Like they don't
They just
care.
they do it, you know.
That's okay, that's totally the extrovert in them. Which Jules, I definitely think you're an extrovert too, but I feel like you're extro and intro at the same time. Like
Yeah, I could be a little bit of both.
I'm
We're
definitely a big
intros,
introvert.
Kate.
Yeah, me and Monty are introverted. Like we
Like,
are shy
don't
girlies. Like
don't
don't
look
look
at
at
me.
me. Even though my outfit is fire as fuck, look at me, but
I'm
like don't at the same
slaying, but
time.
don't look at me.
Things I did was
Look
eat,
at the
so
fit,
look
don't
at
look at
me,
my
but
face.
like don't like look at me too long, please. It's too
Yes.
much.
No,
No
yes.
staring.
No staring. That's weird. That's just too much.
Too much.
Um, I don't know if we're gonna do this reoccurring theme in our podcast. I thought it was hilarious, but I don't know. We were thinking about doing something called "What Really Pissed Me Off at Work."
Hey, because you know we all have those moments. You
We have
know.
those moments, and I feel like this is gonna be very real. Like if we don't have those moments, it's easy to be like, I didn't actually have a bad moment, which is good. I mean, that's good, but girl, there are definitely times where I'm like, there is at least one thing a week that I'm like facepalm. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
I mean,
Why?
before we started recording, Kate was going off about some kid that loved to talk to her about snails, and she was like, "Honey, please stop talking to me."
Okay, preface, I was hyping him up, you guys. I was like,
Okay,
the
well
teacher
then
in me,
yes.
I was like, yes, like what? I didn't know that. I was letting him spit the facts, and that's what you do as a teacher. Like it could be the most like you don't even know what they're talking about, but you just hype them up to the point where they feel so confident in themselves because I want them to be like, yes, like I can talk. I know what I'm talking about. Like I'm gonna like they
I'm
need
be
to
confident in my speaking.
Yeah, like be confident in yourself. Use that. I always tell my kids, use your voice, please. I don't know what means. I don't know what that means.
Or like some kind of noise, like
The one thing that triggers me, and if you're a teacher, you know this. The one thing that triggers me as a teacher is when a kid puts something in my face, and I'm like, "What is that? What do you want? What do you want from me?" I'm like, "I don't know what this means. I'm not your mom, honey. I don't know what that means."
Oh my god.
They're like, "Open it," and then they'll say, "Open it," and I'm like, "Excuse me." Where's the please or the may I you?
Oh, I feel like you have so many funny stories, Kate. Like kids are funny.
I definitely just think though, like I match their energy back. Like I will be like, if they're being rude to me, I will be like, I know you're not talking to me that way.
No,
Like
no,
that's
no,
not
ma'am.
acceptable
No,
here.
sir.
No ma'am and no sir. Like I've told you at least 5 different times already. Why is it taking me 5 different times? Oh my gosh, I think yeah, but that's definitely a segment that we want to include in our podcast is what really pissed me off at work. And it's just being real and honest, and that's what this podcast is all about, is being unfiltered. We don't give a well, we do give a shit because, these are our jobs, these are our livelihoods, this is what makes us the dough, but you know what? Like it's okay to complain about work.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's very
Gonna.
healthy and normal, and yeah, that shit pissed me off. And I think another thing that we wanted to include was maybe stuff that we're loving.
Ooh, yes.
Like recommendations. We kind of talked about it and we thought like it could just be very broad. Like, it doesn't have to be a product. It could literally be like a game or a book or an activity or just something that you discovered that you're like,
I'm really into right now.
I'm really into this and I am loving it. So those are, I think, some of the segments that we want to include in this podcast. And those are some things that you can expect to hear in our future episodes. And yeah.
I
guys.
I think it's about time that, we kind of wrap up episode 1.
This was so fun.
We officially did it.
We officially did it, guys. Like, round of applause for us. Jules, play that round of applause. Play that round of applause.
Oh, let me see if it'll play. If it plays, oh, thank God. Okay,
round of applause for us, ladies, because like we said, we were so nervous doing this, but I think now it's kind of exciting to know that, like Jules said, maybe one of you is listening to us and you relate to us on some level and you become a girly with us. Like, that is amazing. That is so amazing to know. And I think that's the beauty about social media. You can connect with so many different people around the world, literally next door or whatever it may be. Like,
Absolutely.
it's crazy.
This is a fun little thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
We all collectively said, we really don't know like what's gonna come of us doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know that it's something that us three can do, like without having to be with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And also we did say that we were gonna do like a sit down one, all in the same room. In company, because my God, if you see how many times Maricela will like punch me like as she's laughing, ridiculous.
I wish I could hit her right now.
See, there we go.
The vibes are definitely different when we're together. Like the vibes are just like the energy is up there. Like we are just like
on 10.
We're on 10. We're on something, bro. We're on something.
Absolutely.
We all won.
I don't know. I was gonna kind of mention the guys a little bit, but I feel like maybe we'll just leave that for another episode.
Can make it another episode.
Love the guys. Yeah. Love you guys though. Love the boys.
Yeah, love our friends. But this is for the girls. This is for the girlies.
They need to hear us first.
They need to hear y'all. Okay, so yeah, thank you to anybody that listens to us. Thank you just for clicking on our podcast. And if you've made it all the way through here, a billion thank you. I love you so much because
we love you.
We love you. I don't know how we sound. I don't know if we were entertaining. I hope we were. I think we were. But thank you so much for supporting us and just listening to us. And, I think like we talked about, we really want to make this a community and, leave us a review. Subscribe if you guys want to. I mean, we want to engage with you guys because that's why we started this. Mm-hmm. For us, but to also branch out and reach that community. And just thank you so much for listening. And I know we all really appreciate it.
We appreciate the support.
We appreciate the girlies.
We will appreciate any feedback. Because like we said, this is our first episode. Mm-hmm. We really don't know what we're doing.
Still getting a hang of it. Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's a learning process.
It is a learning process. And I even think like from this episode to like episode 5 is going to sound completely different. Like,
oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
We're going to be like completely on one. So please expect better episodes and just exciting content from us.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Should we end with the bye girlies? Should we tell the girlies goodbye since we said hey girlies?
Yes.
Oh, we got to say bye.
Now we gotta say goodbye. So,
appropriate.
Bye, girlies. Thanks for listening.
Bye, girlies.
Bye, girlies.